The Battle of Monte Cassino stands as one of the most grueling and strategically significant engagements of World War II. This monumental clash took place in the rugged terrain of Italy, specifically around the prominent Monte Cassino hill and its Benedictine abbey. Lasting from January to May 1944, it involved a complex series of offensives and counter-offensives between Allied and Axis forces, each struggling for control over the vital Gustav Line, a German defensive fortification running across Italy. By early 1944, Allied forces had landed in Italy and were pushing northward. However, progress was slow due to the formidable German defensive lines, especially the Gustav Line anchored by Monte Cassino. The Allies recognized the importance of breaking through this line to gain access to Rome and weaken German control over Italy. The Allied forces involved in the Battle of Monte Cassino were multinational and included troops from the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Poland, New Zealand, India, and others. Under the command of General Harold Alexander and Lieutenant General Mark Clark, the Fifth Army spearheaded the assault on Monte Cassino. The Polish Second Corps, led by General Władysław Anders, played a particularly notable role in the later stages of the battle. The German forces defending Monte Cassino were primarily composed of units from the 14th Army, commanded by Field Marshal Albert Kesselring. This army was a formidable opponent, well-equipped and strategically positioned to defend against Allied advances. The Germans had fortified Monte Cassino and its surroundings, turning the area into a formidable defensive position. Both sides employed a variety of tactics and strategies throughout the battle. The Germans utilized the natural terrain to their advantage, constructing extensive defensive works and utilizing Monte Cassino's elevated position for observation and artillery fire. They also employed mines, barbed wire, and other obstacles to impede Allied advances. The Allies, on the other hand, employed a combination of infantry assaults, artillery barrages, and aerial bombardment to try and dislodge the German defenders. However, the rugged terrain and the strong German defenses made progress slow and costly for the Allied forces. On the 17th of January 1944, the Battle of Monte Cassino commenced with a huge artillery fire and aerial bombardment, as Allied forces launched their assault on the formidable German defenses. Spearheaded by units from the US Fifth Army, including the renowned 36th Division, the initial objectives focused on breaching the Gustav Line defenses and securing a foothold around Monte Cassino. In the ensuing days following the Allied assault, the German defenders, reinforced by elements of the 15th Panzergrenadier Division and the 1st Fallschirmjäger Division, fiercely resisted the Allied advance. The rugged terrain, coupled with extensive minefields and well-entrenched positions, posed formidable obstacles for the advancing Allied troops. Despite gallant efforts by units such as the 34th Division of the US Fifth Army, progress was slow, and casualties mounted on both sides. As February dawned, the Allies attempted to outflank Monte Cassino to the south, employing units from the British 8th Army's 4th Indian Division. However, their efforts were met with determined resistance from the formidable German 90th Panzergrenadier Division. The ensuing clashes resulted in heavy losses for both sides, prolonging the stalemate and highlighting the tenacity of the German defenders. With the stalemate persisting, the Allies launched a renewed assault in mid-March, shifting their focus to the town of Cassino itself. This time, units from the British 4th Infantry Division and the battle-hardened New Zealand Corps led the charge, supported by a relentless barrage of heavy artillery and precision air strikes aimed at softening the Gustav Line defenses. In a controversial and devastating turn of events, Allied forces resorted to bombing the historic Monte Cassino Abbey, suspecting it to be utilized as a German observation post. Carried out by the U.S. Army Air Force, the bombing campaign inflicted extensive damage to the revered abbey, but failed to dislodge the resolute German defenders entrenched within its vicinity. After months of grueling combat and mounting casualties, the First Battle of Monte Cassino culminated in a somber realization for the Allied forces. Despite their valiant efforts and repeated assaults, the Gustav Line remained intact, and Monte Cassino defiantly stood under German control, serving as a sobering testament to the formidable defensive capabilities of the Axis forces. Undeterred by the setbacks of the first engagement, the Allies launched a second assault on Monte Cassino in early May. This time, the Polish Second Corps, comprising units such as the 12th Podolian Cavalry Regiment and the battle-tested 3rd Carpathian Rifle Division, took a leading role in the renewed offensive. After weeks of fierce fighting and determined assaults, the tide of battle finally shifted in favor of the Allied forces on May 18, 1944. In a remarkable display of courage and perseverance, Polish troops managed to breach the formidable defenses of Monte Cassino and seize control of the strategically vital position, including the iconic Monte Cassino Abbey. This decisive breakthrough marked a turning point in the Battle of Monte Cassino, signaling the beginning of the end for German resistance in the region and paving the way for the subsequent Allied advance towards Rome. These critical moments illustrate the intense and protracted nature of the Battle of Monte Cassino, with both sides committing significant resources and enduring heavy casualties in the struggle for control of this strategically vital position. After months of bitter fighting, the Allies finally managed to break through the Gustav Line defenses in late May 1944. Allied forces, after a series of determined assaults, succeeded in capturing Monte Cassino and the abbey atop it on May 18. This victory opened the way for the Allied advance towards Rome, which fell to the Allies on June 4, 1944. The Battle of Monte Cassino was a costly engagement for both sides, resulting in tens of thousands of casualties. It highlighted the challenges of fighting in rugged mountain terrain and the importance of strategic positions in modern warfare. The bravery and determination of the soldiers involved, on both sides, are remembered to this day.